Stomper, a situation that is very much unresolved. So let's take a look now at those highlights at the Omni between the Mongolian Stomper and Andre the Giant. Instead, of course, here you can see the action that's going on. Andre the Giant, the 8th wonder of the world. The Mongolian Stomper, who's a national heavyweight champion, is billed by his manager, Don Carson, as the 8th wonder of the world. And as you can see, two extremely powerful men, and neither man really able to gain a total advantage in this situation. One of the few times you'll ever see Andre the Giant on the canvas, and you see it here against the national heavyweight champion, the Mongolian Stomper. Andre the Giant having his problems now as the Stomper pressing with everything that he has available. Lashing out with a foot to the midsection. Andre the Giant back up against those ring ropes. The Stomper again closes in. But there you see the great strength, the great perseverance of Andre the Giant, on which the Stomper off the bottom with a size 20. And I checked with him. Those are size 20 shoes that he wears. Andre has him now in the bear hug, and you can see the pain on the face of, and here you see his manager, Don Carson, worried over the fact that Andre the Giant had the Stomper in that bear hug, and now it is Carson trying to get that situation separated, leaving the ring finally, and quickly offering more and more advice to the Stomper. Andre the Giant back to the canvas once again. Andre the Giant at 447 pounds, 7 feet 4 inches tall, originally from Grenoble, France. Andre powers him off, and the Stomper, who claims to be the 8th wonder of the world, according to his manager, Don Carson, now pressing his advantage all the way. And on his knees, Andre the Giant is almost as tall as an average man. Andre the Giant taking a lot of punishment here from the Mongolian Stomper. Stomper continues to punish Andre the Giant. And it's amazing, any average human being would have long since been defeated by the Mongolian Stomper. But Andre the Giant is just exactly that, the 8th wonder of the world, tremendously powerful, an immense individual, a headbutt that staggers the Stomper. And again, the Stomper staggered by Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant really getting a handle on things here, and again punishes the Stomper. And you can see now it's beginning to take its toll. Andre the Giant whips the Stomper off the ropes, catches him in the bear hug. Has him in that bear hug, and Don Carson can stand it no longer, comes charging in, and now Don Carson interfering in the match with that cane coming off that second rope. And a disqualification ensued from this point. And so it is Don Carson feeling the tremendous strength of Andre the Giant. And nonetheless, that situation is far from being resolved. It was a disqualification for the interference of Don Carson. Right now, though, I want to take a look at wrestling across. And Alan Ray.
I'm glad to see you finally got my name right. You must be one of the few educated people in the South that learn to talk. If we could get the worm guts out of these people's mouth that they carry around and spit in cups all the time, they may learn to speak my name also. It's Duggan.
Okay, Mr. Duggan, first of all, I think it would be interesting to note, going back into your past, you were quite an athlete in high school.
That's right. I'm not one of these muscle-bound jerks or these fat slobs. I'm an athlete, one of the best in the world at what I do. I played pro football. I was all-decade in college. The best football player to play for SMU in 10 years. I'm an all-around athlete. This is something I'm taking on now, and I'm going to prove to the world that I'm the best in this ring.
Well, now, talking about this, I understand, too, that you were a state amateur champion in wrestling.
That's right. In '73, I was New York State. That's New York State, not little chicken Georgia State. New York State amateur champion. So
that's why you should try a new...
Introducing first the challenger from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 220 pounds, Kevin Sullivan. His opponent from Medina, Minnesota, weighing in at 230 pounds, the national TV champion, Steve O.
Steve-O going up against Kevin Sullivan. Steve-O, a fighting television champion, has been defending his title with great regularity. My pleasure to have with me right now the world junior heavyweight champion, Les Thornton, the man of 1,000 holds. And I've asked him to come out here and join me during this championship match to lend his expertise and his comments to the match. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Gordon. It's good to see you again. It's always a nice pleasure to come back to Georgia. And to do right here now in this ring, we've got two of the finest junior heavyweights in the country. This should be a great struggle because they're all after one thing. And this junior heavyweight championship belt, which is weighing over my shoulder right now.
Right. In fact, the matter is that Les Thornton, of course, traveling worldwide defending that title. Steve-O in behind his man now. From a hammerlock down to a back heel and took him down. Very nice. Now Steve-O being countered very nicely by Kevin Sullivan. Into the ropes, the referee calls for the break.
Yeah, well, I think Kevin, is in the greatest shape I've ever seen him. I believe he's going to the competitions now, and his wrestling, since he's got his body as good as it is now, his wrestling is improved, and even though he's a little bit lighter, his wrestling skills great.
Certainly no question about that. Kevin Sullivan misses with an elbow. That's a good cross-body block by Steve-O. Sullivan powers out. Like you said, though, he does have tremendous muscular definition and conformation.
That's right. Well, Steve's a lot bigger now, and he was lucky to get away with that dive across crucifix he got there. But now Sullivan has got, he knows he's an old dog. He knows what he's doing. He's going in there. He's hooked in the leg now. Has to take a lot of weight off his headlock, and he's pushing away. It's a way of doing it to get out of it. I think Sullivan knows what he's doing, as you said, and he's going to try and push him off now. Went for the hip toss, missed him, reversed it, and did a backslide on it. That's a very good move.
Was indeed. Good thinking on the part of Steve-O. Back on their feet, both men watching each other carefully. Remember, once again, the National Television Championship on the line in this match. Kevin Sullivan, former champion, trying to get a head scissors on Steve-O, trying to break up that side headlock. And, well, really almost an impasse here.
Well, I've wrestled both these boys, and they're both very, very good. The two of the greatest in the world today, and I have to watch them. That's why I'm here today. I will be wrestling later on in the program, but as I said, I've wrestled both before. They're both world class, and as I said, this belt is hard to keep hold of now. And my one aim now is to watch everybody, look at everybody, and just make sure no one gets one up the shove on me.
That's an interesting thing. There are probably more junior heavyweights competing.
Well, it's never been known now. Since this last year, this belt has come into recognition, and even Louisiana now has owned a tournament for junior heavyweight. And you've got down in Florida there, three of the greatest junior heavyweights. He put in his two with Graham, Matsuta, and McGee. And I know every time I go down there, I'm always lucky to scrape out of Florida alive.
Les Thornton, the world junior heavyweight champion, and it is Kevin Sullivan now with the head scissors on Steve-O. And Sullivan has really been aggressive in this match.
Yeah, well, he knows what he's doing. He's got to win this. He's got them side scissors there. He's got the pressure on. It's very hard to get out of. But I think if Steve thinks a little bit now and tries a handstand or to take the ankles, he might get out of it. He's coming through now with a counter to pin Sullivan right now.
Steve-O bringing the pressure back on Kevin Sullivan. Sullivan now with those shoulders on the canvas and able to roll out into the ropes, and the referee calls for the break. Steve-O, the national television champion, defending his title. Time is on Steve-O's side, of course. If it goes to time, he retains the title.
Well, I'd watch if I was Steve-O, because Sullivan can pull a few little tricks out of his bag that shouldn't be there in the ring. And right now, Sullivan's getting riled up. I think he'll start bringing a few out. I'm surprised that Steve-O threw a punch and there was no need for it.
Sullivan smashed into that turnbuckle now on Steve-O. Arm whips, but a reversal by Sullivan.
Lovely multi-flip, reverse. Body press, reversed it again and pulled him through. It's good wrestling. It's certainly good wrestling.
No question about that, and it's Sullivan again trying to press that advantage on Steve-O. Steve-O caught with a hard right hand, and it is Steve-O off the ropes, caught with an elbow to the chest. Sullivan crashing down across the chest.
Sullivan's hurt. He's in great shape of Sullivan now. Now he's got the arm bar, applying the pressure. You can see every muscle in his body is Every muscle he's got there is really accentuated now. He's in the greatest shape I've ever seen him. Maybe he's actually taking this roll bait, this roll belt more than I thought he was going to do.
Well, that's it. Les Thornton, who knows that he is a target of every junior heavyweight in the world today because he is the champion. And obviously, under a tremendously arduous schedule defending that title against the very finest competitors all over the United States and the rest of the world.
Well, yes, that's true. You see, you've got Fujinami now of Japan. He's coming over, and I believe I'm going to have to wrestle him. And you've also got Alabama, the wrestling super junior heavyweight down there. And the class of the junior heavyweight now, in these last 2 years, as I've said, is the greatest it's ever been in the history. So whoever holds this belt has got to be tip-top at all times. As we see now, Sullivan is using one or two little tricks out of the book, which is noted for, foot on the rope. And when I wrestle Sullivan, I watch him all the time because he's full of tricks. He's like a little fox. He can dive in his hole and come out with plenty of dodgy things.
Interesting observation from Les Thornton, the world junior heavyweight champion. Beautiful rolling reverse by Steve-O. Has Sullivan down 1-2. No, sir. Thought for a moment he had that pin, but he did not. Steve-O uncorks a hard right hand, but it's Sullivan now with a snap mirror. Has Steve-O back to the Kent.
A lot of people watching this match, especially amateur wrestlers, they know when they have to do a 3-minute period. These men have been going nearly now for 8 minutes, non-stop. So that's the kind of condition these two men are in. Top condition.
Certainly no question about that. These men are great athletes, and it is Steve-O breaking it up with Kevin Sullivan. Now Steve-O, a deep underhook blocked by Sullivan.
He went for the suplex, but Sullivan blocked him with the leg, so he didn't get it. Sullivan knows those tricks.
Well, of course, so many people, I don't think, don't take the time to realize that wrestling is basically the most successful wrestlers are chain wrestlers, such as you are. One move moves to another move to another move.
You always come up with some surprising things, You've come up before with that. Chain wrestling. Americans don't know chain wrestling, but the European style kind of wrestling. And I do a lot of it, and that's why my wrestling is a little bit different. And sometimes I can bluff a lot of American wrestlers with it. And as you said, chain wrestling, if you can do it, that's going from one move to counter move, back to move, back to counter move. If you can do that, you can win most of your matches.
And evidence of that is the fact that Thornton does hold the World Junior Heavyweight Championship. Steve-O on the canvas now, and in trouble here is Kevin Sullivan using the flat of the foot. Now arm whips him off the ropes. Quite a backdrop, and
I think Steve-O tried to go over there and double leg Nelson, and we call double leg Nelson, but Sullivan came up with the head and stopped, and there he's gone for a cradle, and got the cradle. The kicks out, very nice kicks out.
Sullivan now continues to press that advantage. A single leg pickup now by Sullivan on Steve-O. Has him back to the center of the ring. Punishing those femoris muscles now into the spinning toe hold.
Very hard to get out of once that time. He's kicked him out. He's lucky to kick him out, then.
He was indeed.
Usually a figure four or a toe hold. That's usually a finishing hold. Submission. Very lucky.
Steve-O suddenly exploding now on Kevin Sullivan. Hard right hand to the top of the head of Kevin Sullivan, and it is Steve-O bringing up the atomic knee drop, and that could be all she wrote for Kevin Sullivan. 1-2, no. Howard out again before the count of 3.
I wonder if he get out of there because that stunned him. You see, when you get that, it stuns your spine. He's got to get out of there to take a rest. But Steve-O's not having that. He's pulling straight back in. He thinks he's got the match, Steve-O. Steve-O's going for this match. He's going to win it. Backbreaker on the same move. He's going for the backbreaker. Leg on the rope, saved himself. Kevin's in a lot of trouble right now.
He is indeed. Kevin Sullivan now beginning to fade under the tremendous pressure of the national TV champion Steve-O. Steve-O has him up. Another backbreaker.
Well, I'm surprised at that. One backbreaker, as you know, it's my favorite move. I usually beat everybody with a backbreaker. And there's the man took 2. But as you said, he saved himself by a leg on the rope. He's reversed it. Oh, over the top. Nice move. A roll up as well the top rope. See, fox. That's where the fox comes from.
And he missed with that flying drop kick. We've got a new champion. We have got a new champion. Kevin Sullivan has just defeated Steve-O for the National Television Championship.
Jordan, as you and Professor Haskin have said many, many times, the cream will come to the top. As you have said before, I am the best. I am the best wrestler on national TV because I am your champion, and don't you forget it.
Moments right now.